Stardew Valley is a massively popular game, and for good reason. On the surface, Stardew Valley may seem like any other dinky little pixelated farming simulator without a whole lot of nuance to it. But as you probably know if you're watching this video, that couldn't be any further from the truth. There are so many different aspects to Stardew Valley. Not only are there the basic farming, fishing, foraging, mining, and combat, but there's also life sim elements, cooking, decorating, and so much more. The years and years of hard work and passion that ConcernedApe put into developing this game is ever apparent in the countless hours that can be sunk into it. But after playing Stardew Valley for over hundreds of hours, it's only natural to get a bit burnt out on the game at some point while still wanting to play a game with a similar vibe. Sometimes you just gotta switch things up a bit, and that's okay. So for this video, I've compiled 5 games, old and new, that I've played over the years that have really reeled me in and kept me wanting more, just like Stardew Valley. Each of these games has one or more elements of Stardew Valley in it. These games will range from new games that just released this year, games that are in early access, games that have free demos, and even some older games that I've released over the past couple years that I think deserve some more hype. I wanted to try my best to highlight some more niche games that I think deserve more love, rather than the obvious choices like your Fields of Mystrias or your Moonstone Islands. So without any further ado, here are 5 games to play when you're burnt out on Stardew Valley that will scratch your Stardew Valley itch. Up first on our list, a game that I have been loving recently is Welcome to Elderfield by Ill-Advised Games. Welcome to Elderfield is described as a spooky farming RPG. You can farm, fish, mine, cook, craft, befriend townsfolk, beseech the old gods, investigate mysteries, watch unsettling news programs, get lost in the dead mall, die in your sleep, and more. So yes, this is a bit of a horror cozy game. You're probably wondering, Mariz, how can a horror game be cozy? Hear me out, okay? You guys know, if you're a fan of my channel, that art style is a very important factor in games for me. And the art style in this game is to die for. And it's what drew me into trying the game in the first place. With a big inspiration from Junji Ito and other horror manga artists, each character, monster, and landscape is so incredibly detailed and mesmerizing to look at. All the characters are super personalized and unique and fun to get to know. You can also romance a lot of the characters as well. There is combat in the game, but only in the form of turn-based combat, so it isn't too stressful as you have some time to think about your next move. And you can even set your difficulty at the beginning of the game. You can choose from peaceful, easy, normal, hard, and nightmare. So it's a very customizable experience when it comes to combat difficulty. While the game does heavily lean on horror, I do oftentimes find myself laughing out loud at the extremely witty dialogue and kooky characters. The sound design and ambiance all over the game is so brilliantly done and so immersive. I especially love the sound of the wind chimes while you're on your farm. I don't know, it just really scratches my brain. And don't even get me started on the music. There is a reason why the music is so good in Welcome to Elderfield. A brief little backstory on Ill-Advised Games is that they are originally an indie music production company known as Ill-Advised Records. And they have lots of horror lo-fi music on the internet and recently decided to dabble in video game development. And boy, am I glad they did. I seriously cannot stop raving about this game. It is seriously so well done. I just love games like these where you can feel the passion seeping behind every corner of the game. As of now, I've played over 20 hours of Welcome to Elderfield, and I definitely intend to keep playing more. Every time I play, I discover more and more little secrets. I do have a video on my channel of my first time playing the game if you'd like to check that out. But just so you know, the game is still in development with major updates happening very frequently. There is currently a free demo on Steam that has up to 20 to 30 hours of content. And if you have the means to do so, they also have a Patreon where you can support the development of the game and get access to a lot more of the game. You get a bigger map, more NPCs to talk to, more quests, and early access to updates. The developer of the game ever so kindly gifted me free access to the Patreon version, and I recently started live streaming it here on my channel, so feel free to check those out to see if the game is right for you. And our second game on the list is Doloc Town by Red Saw Games, a cozy side-scrolling platformer pixel art farming simulation set in a post-apocalyptic world. Build your dream farm from scratch and explore this mysterious wasteland. Harvest, plant, build, and uncover the untold stories of this forgotten land. Doloc Town is currently in early access, costing $15, with about 15 to 20 hours of content, including various side quests, basic and advanced farming systems, crafting, cooking, fishing, interacting with the townsfolk, exploration, and more. They plan to release the full version of the game in less than a year. The developer states, "The early access version has unfinished main storylines where we plan to gradually add more during the course of early access and finish it once the game hits full release later. Feature-wise, new systems such as ranching and more in-depth content like automated farming, is expected to be added along the way as we go. I received an email from the developer of this game a little while back gifting me a free game key. And typically I'm not a very big fan of platformer games. So honestly, I was planning on skipping this one, but I decided to check out the trailer and that really pleasantly surprised me. You know me, the art style really drew me in, and the music and sound design was very satisfying for my brain. I love the post-apocalyptic, post-war theme of this game. The story addresses the effects of war on the environment and human connection, which is a very interesting choice for a cozy type game. There are lots of unique things in this game. For one, it's 2D, so you build up with your crops, and there's a weather phenomenon called acid rain that you need to protect your crops from, and there's even a combat drone that helps you fight. I'd say if you're someone who, like me, doesn't really have a whole lot of experience with platformers, Doloc Town is a very great introduction to that genre with a cozy twist. I'm very excited to see where this game goes when it's ready to be fully released. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out Doloc Town and keeping a close eye on it for when it's complete. There may or may not be a raise in price after it's out of early access, so it could be a smart idea to get in early. The third and newest game on this list to scratch your Stardew Valley itch is Discounty by Crinkle Cut Games. The premise of Discounty is your aunt has invited you to manage the local store Discounty in the run-down harbor town of Blomkest. But beware, not everyone wants you to succeed. Explore Blomkest after business hours and get to know the townsfolk, turn them into loyal patrons of Discounty, and uncover the town's hidden secrets. Discounty has been on my radar for quite some time now. From Discounty's promotional material that they've been posting over the years, you can very easily tell that there is an underlying dark tone that is waiting to be uncovered. And if you can't tell by my recommendations so far, I love a cozy game with a bit of a dark twist and grit to it. But besides the theme, Discounty is just so well done. I got to play the Discounty demo a little bit early before everyone else, and I was absolutely blown away by everything about it. The graphics and the aesthetic were beautiful, the music and sound design was amazing and changed depending on the situations that you're in, the characters have so much personality to them, and the mechanics are oh so satisfying. As someone who has worked retail before, it might be hard to believe that Discounty is a fun game, but trust me, it is. Now, this game is definitely not a farming sim, as there is no farming, fishing, foraging, mining, or combat. But if you're someone who likes the grind loop and the getting to know the townsfolk element of Stardew Valley, Discounty is definitely for you. The storyline in Discounty, from what I've seen so far, is full of drama and twists and turns that will keep you on your toes, dying to know what happens next. And this is one of those games that seems like it can be played in multiple different ways, kind of like Stardew Valley with the community center versus Jojo Run. In Discounty, you can either be a capitalist demon who doesn't care about the environment or the impact you have on the townsfolk, or you can try to make a more peaceful route as much as you can. There is a free demo of Discounty available now on Steam, and the game will be fully released on August 21st this year. For the life of me, I can't find a price point that Discounty will be released at, but hopefully they'll keep it at a reasonable price. The fourth game I want to recommend is Core Keeper by Pug Storm. Core Keeper is a survival sandbox game. Explore a vast cavern of creatures, relics, and resources in a mining sandbox adventure for 1 to 8 players. Mine, build, fight, craft, and farm to unravel the mystery of the ancient core. This game is definitely for people who enjoy the mining, combat, and adventuring aspect of Stardew Valley, like me. Yeah, Core Keeper is basically like the Stardew Valley mines, but that's the whole game. There's not really a day or night cycle. You kind of just mine and forage this underground world endlessly, build a home base, defeat enemies, and discover the secrets of the world, either by yourself or with friends. The grind loop is endless. I personally have never played Terraria, so I cannot attest to this, but I see lots of people making comparisons of Core Keeper to Terraria as well. Core Keeper is $20 and is available on PC and console, including the Nintendo Switch. It is a fully complete and released game, and it gets major free content updates pretty regularly. Core Keeper is another game that was sent to me by the developer that genuinely surprised me. I was honestly not expecting to like it as much as I did, but as of now, I've put almost 30 hours into the game, and honestly, I need to get back into it. There have been a lot of updates since the last time I played. In Core Keeper, you can choose a background that will give you differing buffs depending on which one you choose, and as you venture through the caves, you fight monsters, cook food, go fishing, craft and upgrade your weapons and armor, decorate your home base with beautiful decor options, upgrade your skills through skill trees, and raise and care for animals. The pixel art graphics are absolutely stunning. There are lots of different biomes, and each landscape is beautiful in their own ways. and each biome has its own music to go along with it to really immerse you into the world as you explore. Similar to Welcome to Elderfield that I mentioned earlier, Core Keeper also has a difficulty setting at the beginning of the game to customize your combat experience to your liking. If you have friends who like to game, I definitely recommend playing Core Keeper with friends. It really is such a fun experience in co-op mode. It's a little bit harder to play single player mode, but not impossible. You just need to spend a little more time upgrading things like your skills, armor, weapons, and making high-powered food and whatnot. But yeah, Core Keeper is a very fun game if you're into mining and gathering little trinkets and treasures. Next up, 5th on our list is Chef RPG by World 2 Studio. Chef RPG is a single-player RPG cooking game with pixel graphics. The player takes the role of a young chef who has been given the task of reviving Le Sequoia, a once famous restaurant in White Ash Harbor, a new life in a beautiful seaside town filled with humans and androids, which was once a thriving tourist destination. Hunt, harvest, and shop for ingredients. Along the way, befriend fascinating locals and help revive the town as a tourist hotspot. Craft your culinary adventure in this open-ended RPG where you can choose how to grow your restaurants. Chef RPG is $17 and is currently in an early access state, but it does have a ton of content to explore and lots of updates regularly. Chef RPG in early access features new and unique RPG mechanics, and we would love to gather player feedback and suggestions to refine these mechanics. The game already has a lot of content for players to enjoy. However, more areas and more story content are planned, and feedback will help shape these future additions into the game. And the plan is to be in early access for a year and a half. The early access version dropped in September 2024, so hopefully we'll be seeing a full release by the beginning of next year, maybe. I've played around 17 hours of Chef RPG so far, and personally, I had a really great time with it. The storyline is very well written, and I love that it's told in a sort of non-linear path through flashbacks. All of the NPCs are super cool personality-wise, and especially looks-wise. The NPC portraits are honestly what drew me in the first place. Just look at the detail in all of these portraits. Even the food dishes themselves are so detailed and kind of makes you hungry while you play. All the landscapes and interiors are super well done. As you walk around the world, there's always moving parts around that really gives so much life to the game. The early access gameplay includes 3 story acts, lots of side quests, 2 restaurants to manage and customize, over 240 recipes to collect, harvesting, hunting, fishing, mining, crafting, researching, farming, brewing, skill trees with 40 unique skills, 20 major characters to befriend and some to romance, 30 minor characters, and a dense open world to explore where every building can be entered. It is confirmed that there will be a small price increase when the game launches in its full release. Not sure exactly how much the price increase will be, but if this sounds like your jam, it might be a good idea to get in a bit early at a lower price point. And that, my friends, are all of the games that I have compiled for this video that will scratch your Stardew Valley itch. Do you know of any more games that I didn't mention today? Be sure to leave them in the comments down below so we can all share some of our favorite Stardew-like games that deserve some more love. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!